What's up, yo? You're with Budget Monk, and this is just another update. Look at that beautiful Austria. I know a lot of people have been asking for update continuations, so this is what it is. I was hoping to form Rome at the end of my previous stream, but yeah, I misjudged things quite a bit because we only just began integrating Spain here, so we're a whiles off. But look at that beautiful Austria. I love it. We've experienced some ugliness with Austria's name being placed down here in the Middle East, but it's nice and unified right now. And of course, if I open up my diplomacy tab, we have been allying some nations like this to try to prevent the coalitions from actually being a nuisance when we're involved in other wars and stuff, which has had mixed results. But of course, our subjects are what are amazing here. Uh, Cleaned up most of the sort of straggling provinces around Eastern Europe. We've got Sweden. We haven't really had a good claim on them. So we've just slowly been using Finland and the Danish at their own pace when they actually make claims. But of course, that will be integrated all in due time before the end of the game. No hurry there. We've also been feeding Wales into England. England now mostly composed of Scotland and Ireland. Won't take too long there. Expanding some of these nations to increase their colonial range. We've got Circassia. Circassia is going to be going down into the Horn of Africa this game. Georgia will be going down into Iran. Both of these, oops, don't do that. Both of these nations have religious ideas. Circassia just took it, and Circassia actually has a missionary in their idea group, so that's pretty cool. But probably the real star of the show that I'm really thrilled about is Magdeburg. Magdeburg managed to actually take a coastline. We fed him into the British Isles, and I have since fed him into North Africa here. Simply, and it's Wales as well, by the way, simply to increase their coring range around to other areas so that when we finally hit that HRE button, of course, we integrate them all for free. If we look at Magdeburg, he has religious ideas, but he also has divine traditions with one missionary and two missionary strength. So if you guys know this patch, the AI is really derpy and bad at converting their own provinces, but when they do become really large and powerful, if you manage their economy well, like you don't make them broke, they do convert to some extent, and missionary strength definitely helps in that regard. Otherwise, in order to form Rome, if we go here, we need obviously Italy, France, Iberia, and Fez, and that's actually it. So, also Anatolia. But the Ottomans are all doable in one war. So I will definitely be forming Rome this stream, and I can't wait. It's going to be really, really exciting. We have other issues though. I'm trying to have the court and country fire, the disaster, so to get that done away with, and it's such a nuisance, man. Like, you need to have +1 unrest. If you go under one unrest, it goes away. The court and country goes away. It's so brutal. I always find it so difficult to actually get this to go. You can see we're at 160 overextension, massively overextended just to get my unrest up. It's so unpleasant, and for that reason, I also had an unrest advisor, and we were at 3 stability and all sorts, and a nice and stable country. But I've just been dealing with massive rebel factions because they increased in size. Yeah, we're basically in a sort of civil war right now. Like, this is an example of a rebel faction here. And it's painful, guys. It's really, really painful. And this progresses 2 per month. 2. So it's basically 50 months of this. And then you have to deal with the actual court and country. But yeah, I'm feeling really insecure about maybe if I core some of this stuff up. You can see 8 unrest from overextension. So as we core some of this stuff up, I'm worried that my unrest will be resolved. And with that in mind, I think I might have to try to hurt my stability. So there's some methods of doing that, right? Like I don't have diplomatic ideas, so we could just force break some royal marriages. I think I will think I will have to do it. We can always get our stability back up with the papal influence, but boy, it's awkward. Either way, my truce is about to come up here with the Portuguese. Basically, we're going to be annexing this. Then from there, my truce will also come up against Morocco. We're going to be taking Fez and probably feeding Wales some land here. Otherwise, the Ottomans can be done in one war. I'm quite confident. They're 102 war score cost. So as our... We've got a few things here. We're in the age of absolutism. Now, I believe when the quarter country begins, your maximum absolutism is like 60. But we do have the age bonus coming along here of 5 admin efficiency. So that will do it there. And the biggest issue, what has been the biggest issue and what will continue to be the biggest issue is France. It's a big nuisance. You can see here 1630 is when our truce comes up. Yeah, and he's going to take 2 wars easily. So maybe we truce break him, man. I don't know. I might truce break him, and I guess that's a good way to gain some unrest. But otherwise, guys, Spain, we just began integrating Spain, and literally just began integrating him, and you can see it's going to be 1657. That's what it says right now. Now, that's pretty demoralizing. He will be integrated by 1657. However, of course, the rate at which we're spending Diplo to integrate him is dramatically reduced because of our overextension. See what I'm saying? So overextension is affecting our, because we're so overextended, reputation massively. So we should be integrating him much faster. The 5 admin efficiency should take that down by a chunk. And what I'm going to do, keep in mind, guys, that it says it's going to take longer than 25 years. So we have to be careful because this modifier lasts for 25 years. But I can, boom, just take 15% off with this diplo annexation right here. So with that and maybe absolutism increasing, it's obviously going to be done earlier. The question is how early. So I actually, out of interest, want to check we integrated Milan. Okay, so we've got -3 reputation, which will improve 4 years from now. Yeah. So if we're not massively overextended and we get rid of that annexed subjects, our reputation is going to be very high. And yeah, we'll integrate them much more quickly. That's in 4 years. Yeah. So I do think this will be the last limiting factor is when we integrate Spain. My guess will be in the 30s at best. We're going to be forming Rome in the 30s. And at that stage, our Austrian culture, this is what it looks like right now, because we cannot bank Diplo points right now, guys. I wish I could, but the banking begins when we move our capital out to the New World, because I will have no territory to bank in. So the best thing to do is to convert provinces. We could spare Diplo points, and that's exactly what we've been doing. This is what the Austrian, soon-to-be Roman culture looks like currently, in the grand scheme of things. I mean, it's significant. Maybe almost 5% of the world. I don't know, less than that. But yeah, that's what Roman looks like right now. And we also employed this tactic. I'll show this off really quickly. I think this is really cool. I don't know if I was behind. I think it's not that I was behind, but Spain was ahead colonizing. He was having such a good colonial game. He's got the claim on every freaking region. It's just incredible. He literally has all of North America except for Louisiana and these, which I'm hoping to get out to soon. So I was having a bad colonial game because it's important that we keep the papal relations up. I'm not going to elaborate and go into why the papal relations are important. Basically, when we integrate Spain, we want him to give us all of these claims ourselves, but he won't do that if he's got negative relations. And if you make one colony in an area that is owned by somebody else, he gets -50 relations. And we also needed relations to be at 190 with Spain himself, who had a massive aggressive expansion modifier. So that was an issue as well, so that we could begin integrating Spain. Now, long story short, this was owned by Portugal, and we annexed all of the Caribbeans without coring it up, because provinces that don't exist in the beginning of the game, they don't give you overextension. So by using this method, you can see all these provinces, 0 overextension. We are able to artificially increase the amount of development that we have in North America. And then as long as I don't core a fifth province, we've cored 4 of them, then the colonial nation won't form. So we're going to be dropping our capital here in the Windward Islands this time around. It's in North America, and I managed to take this colony from England and convert it to Austrian. We managed to take some more from Portugal, some 0 overextension. Oh, well, four provinces in this area before they form a colonial nation. And I'm able to colonize Greenland right now. That's what I've been doing, because that's 7 more development in North America. That's technically North America. So that's going to allow us to have a decent amount of development, and therefore we can hold on to maybe our trading company areas. We've owned these by integrating the Italians who were chartering companies. Yeah, but we'll also have this. We'll also need provinces strategically. Jerusalem for the missionary. Right now we're killing it converting provinces, guys. Killing it. It's looking really nice and Catholic, the world. But we've got the Counter-Reformation 2 additional missionaries. If we lose those missionaries, yeah, I basically need Jerusalem and Mecca. And so we need the development there, and preferably, if I'm going to hold this area, I might as well state it up and then have the whole area. But I want that. That's going to give us CB against the Mamelukes, but we're long before imperialism still, guys. So we need provinces strategically. Like, I'll keep this one for CB against QQ and Mush. We'll have to keep this one for CB against Russia. You guys get the picture, right? CBs. So, I mean, the same goes for Tunis and Morocco. We need CBs, Deus Vult. So, I need to hold Rome. And the same thing, if we're going to hold Rome, ideally I'd hold the entire state here after we integrate them. Yeah, so hopefully, if we hold everything we want, we're still going to have 50% of our development in the New World due to this tactic. We'll see how it works. We might have to make some kind of concessions that we don't want to exactly. But that's about it, guys. I wanted to show you here. We are having an issue of too many territories, as you can see, and as I'm overextended like this, even with my route out corruption maxed out, we are still gaining corruption, and that's pretty typical. But our corruption will go back down to 0 when we downsize our country after our next move of actually forming the Roman Empire. That's our next big move. Yep, we'll see how it goes here. It's pretty intense stuff. It's just mostly getting this corner country to actually kick off, and eating up France in particular. And maybe the solution to both is just the truce break. I don't really feel like doing it, but we might have to. Nobody likes a good old truce break. Either way, guys, I hope you enjoyed, and yeah, I'll be live right after posting this video. So if you guys want to tune in and watch the grind and watch us actually, if you want to be there and see the glorious blurple of the Roman Empire, if you want to see that culture flip to Roman, come see me live. There's a link down below. Thanks for watching.